Welcome into the Allen Arena at Lipscomb University. It's time to move to Division II Class AA, the Girls Championship. Ensworth to take on GPS. So far today, the Webb School of Knoxville and Donaldson Christian Academy have captured state championships. Who joins them from this game? Well, we're going to find out. Mike Keith, Ron Bargetzi, in what might be the game that features the two most athletic teams here.
Athleticism, physicality. You've got to be really a bruiser to be out there in this game and get it done.
The GPS Bruisers feature 4 Division I college athletes starting next year. They've signed Division I scholarships. Ensworth, one of the most talented young teams anywhere. And that is Justice Sweat, a junior player who's played in only 2 games this year due to a back problem. The last 2 games, and she has played very well. She won't be in the starting lineup for the Lady Tigers today, and we'll see her quickly, though. The Smiths, all the guards, Christina Slay and Kiera Biner on the inside make it happen for them. Let's go down to the third member of our crew, Chad Withrow, standing by with the head coach for Ensworth.
Joined now by Ensworth Lady Tigers head coach Hubie Smith. Coach, as you get ready for this championship game, what are a few keys as you go against GPS?
Well, we've got to make sure that we control their transition. They're a great group of athletes, and they're great in the open court. We've got to make sure that we make them play half-court basketball, and then in the half-court, we got to keep them out of the paint, which is a big chore.
Coach, thanks and good luck today.
Thank you very much.
That's Coach
Hubie Smith, and of course the opponent today, the defending state champion, GPS Bruisers. You start with them. You start with Shadero Clay, their point guard who signed with Auburn. She's averaging 17 points a game, and she makes it happen. Especially good from three-point range, makes 77% of her free throws. She leads an athletic starting lineup. Also, with Simone Busby in there, she was the MVP of the state tournament a year ago. Janae Perry, the power player on the inside, she'll play for Loyola of Maryland starting next year. The head coach for the Bruisers is Susan Crownover. She's standing by now with Chad Withrow.
Coach of the GPS Bruisers. Coach, I love this term, bruiser ball. What does bruiser ball mean to you in this program?
Well, I guess I must have said that yesterday after the game. I guess if I had to define it, it'd be pressure defense, running up and down the floor as fast as we go, as fast as we can go in a controlled way. But we want to play as fast as possible, and we want to make the other team play fast. So that's what, I guess that's bruiser ball.
Coach, thanks so much. Good luck to you.
Let's take a look at the keys. First for Ensworth, clean the glass, and that's because they have a big advantage on the inside.
They sure do. They've got a lot of size, strength in there, and I'm telling you, they're capable of keeping the ball alive on the glass, possession after possession.
And when we say slow Shadero Clay, what's important about that?
Well, Hubie Smith talked about transition. She's instant offense. When she gets the ball in her hands, she can go 94 feet very quickly, always under control with a lot of strength to finish.
Play bruiser defense for GPS. Susan Crownover covered that, but patience in the half court, she's been preaching that to her offense. What does that mean?
Well, Shadera Clay sometimes does things like she can make the quick move, create offense, and sometimes her teammates have a hard time keeping up with her. So I'd say intensity, but under control is what they're trying to do.
Ensworth against GPS. It's up next for the Division II Class AA Girls State Championship. Stay tuned for the tip-off.
At guard for the Lady Tigers, a 5'4" junior, number 10, Blair Smith. At guard for the Bruisers, a 5'8" junior, number 24, Brianna Ferris. At guard for Ensworth, a 5'5" sophomore, number 15, Brielle Smith. At forward for Girls Preparatory School, a 5'7" senior, number 15, Simone Busby. At forward for the Lady Tigers, a 5'1" senior, number 35, Christina Slay. At forward for the Bruisers, a 5'7" senior, number 23, Tori Kemp. At forward for Ensworth, a 5'9" senior, number 45, Kiera Biner. And at center for GPS, a 6' senior, number 42, Janae Perry. Head coach for the Lady Tigers is Hubie Smith. Assistants are Kyle Bills, Tay Brogdon, Carrie Lucas. Head coach for the Bruisers is Susan Crownover. Assistant is Doug Moser. Officials for today's game are Marcus Young, Jason Martin, and Chuck Patton.
Let's take a look at how Ensworth made it to this championship game. They knocked off Brentwood Academy and last night defeated Pope John Paul II 52-40. Hubie Smith not happy with his team's performance at all in that game, but gave a lot of credit to Pope John Paul. The Knights did a wonderful job making that a tough one. GPS, a win over Harpeth Hall. They beat Briarcrest in a rematch of the championship game from a year ago. And so both of these teams who met earlier this season, ready to go at it again. And a game earlier this year, Ensworth won it by a couple, but both teams without key players, really hard to tell much from that contest.
Hard to tell. A long time ago and key players out. It's all for the marbles today, and it's anybody's game.
Tip won by the Bruisers. Going to be an over and back right off the bat. As Kemp flipped it to Clay after getting the tap, she was in the back court, so a turnover to begin.
A little nerves going on right there, I suppose.
GPS going to start in their familiar man, trying to use that athleticism. Their defense starts their offense. Ensworth loves to go inside. Trying to get it to Slay. She cannot get around Perry. Now she does. Up with a shot. Makes it. That's a good start for Christina Slay and Ensworth.
Slay and Biner both awfully good targets in there when you throw the ball down on the block.
One advantage Ensworth will have in this game, a much deeper bench. They will go 10 players deep, and they will have the subs in pretty quickly. GPS only plays 7. That's why they rely on Clay to make plays like that.
You talked about athleticism at the top of the show here, and that was about as athletic as you'll see.
They break the press with good passing. Smith to Smith to Smith. I'm not kidding. That's Becca with the basketball right now. She's trying to go into Clay and make that Slay again. Slay working hard on Perry. That's a good matchup to watch throughout the course of this basketball game. Becca Smith going to take the 3. Can't get it to go, but Brielle Smith runs it down. So a reset for Ensworth as we're about a minute and a half into this one, tied at 2.
Good man-to-man defense both ways.
Slade going to take a 3, can't make it. Biner comes down with it and draws a foul. That's on Ferris, I believe. So the first foul of the game, with Ensworth taking advantage of what is a really big size advantage. They have a lot more big people to rely on in this game. And that's where they want to go with the basketball. There's a steal. As Perry takes it away, and here comes Clay. Looking down court, got Kemp. Tries to shoot the reverse, but it's blocked. Out of bounds, and GPS will keep possession. Good recovery there by Ensworth.
Ensworth defensively has got to really concentrate on where Clay is and stop her penetration and scoring ability. On the other end, GPS has to guard everyone. As you see the instant offense and a great pass ahead by Clay.
Biner with the excellent block. In the lineup for Ensworth now, Nichols 25 and Sweat 32. So 2 players who had big games yesterday in the win over JP2.
Pretty nice when you can bring a Sweat in off the bench. We'll talk about her story as the game develops.
An amazing story. This is Busby trying to make it happen from in front. Gets her own rebound. Back up strong, draws the foul. Simone Busby, MVP of the state tournament a year ago, a player who really does it all. 5'7", inside, outside, rebounds, passes, scores, defends. She's the glue that holds the Bruisers together.
And when she got the offensive rebound there, she was so quick and aggressive going back up with it. Shows a lot of confidence and a lot of experience to know where she is, where her space is on the court.
She'll play soccer at Evansville. Tells you a little bit about her athleticism.
Yeah, in open court, she can really move down there with her ball handling.
Perry picks off the pass. Ahead to Clay. Can't make it on the double pump. Follows and bangs it home.
A really great two-piece jump shot. She clears some space when she goes up and then can deliver in the second half of that.
Slay going to try to finish. Can't get it to go. Nichols with the follow. There's the size.
Good hands, good upper body strength, and a great finish. And this one looks like it's going to be this way the entire game.
Whereas the first girls' game did not feature a lot of scoring, this one might. Going to get Becca Smith for the foul.
When you try to reach in against Busby, I mean, she's down, she's wide with her good footwork, and very difficult to take the ball from.
Clay doing a much better job running the half-court offense this year, something that has pleased Susan Crownover greatly. Working the ball across, getting a three-point try. Ferris can't make it. Out of bounds off of Ensworth. It'll stay with the Bruisers.
We saw a good skip pass right there that was thrown with unbelievable authority. You don't see that many times in girls basketball who can whip it that quickly.
They go inside to Perry, but it's batted away by Smith. Sweat is able to tie up one of the Bruisers, and on alternate possessions, the ball goes over to the Lady Tigers.
A little 2-2-1 zone press here by the Bruisers. Try to control tempo and the ball, and they know when to clamp there, when to create problems with the offense.
Sweat, the 5'9" junior, a good ball handler, had 4 3-pointers in the first half last night. There's a turnover. Biner is going to check back into the lineup to give Slay a rest. Coach Hubie Smith not happy with his team's patience offensively so far.
Well, the pass was delivered that time really crisply, but maybe a little too hard. It's like expecting a curveball and getting a fastball.
Ensworth staying in the man-to-man defense. Clay gonna reset him. Blair Smith guarding her. Smith, a junior. On defense there, number 5, Becca Smith, just a freshman. Inside they go, and they're going to call a foul on Sweat.
You know, defensively, you teach them, you teach people to watch the belt buckle or watch the waist, because that's one thing you can't. Good collapsing defense there. But if you're guarding Clay outside, which Smith is doing, she's only watching her midsection so she can keep her from taking the ball to the basket.
Clay going to take a three-pointer off the mark, run down by Busby, who's trapped and is able to bank it off a Lady Tiger. The Bruisers maintain possession with 3:32 remaining in the first quarter. Defense is now tightened up for both teams. Go inside to Perry. She can't get it to go down, but draws the foul.
You know, if you isolate Perry and Clay and Busby, that gives you a trio of what I would call very athletic, physical players to offset some size, height, weight advantage that Ensworth has tonight.
Kanisha Nichols called for the foul. Perry missing the free throw. Will have a second chance. Perry went down right at the end of the game against Briarcrest, and it was a very scary moment. Turns out it was only a cramp, and that was very fortunate because they could not be without her in this game as she makes the second.
She's on the second line of that zone press there, which is it right there. Gets her hands on a lot of basketballs.
Already has 1 steal in this first quarter, nearly had another.
But you'll see her with if a team comes down the court, she's the part of that second line defense to trap the basketball at the mid-court line, and she's very long and athletic, able to do that.
How long does it take Ensworth to get used to playing at this pace?
I think it'll pick up as time goes on, as they get some shifts in, rotation of their bench.
Sweat gives it back inside. Slay puts it up and in, but before she shoots, fouled on the floor, so no basket. Janae Perry called for the foul. Go faster, fly higher, get closer to nature from the most remote corners of the world to your own backyard. Nature on this PBS station. Sweat to inbounds it. Slay working down low, puts it up. Can't make it go. Nice rebound there by Biner. Fouled as she goes back up.
Terrific upper body strength there. She didn't have position, but she was so strong in her upper body, she was able to pull the ball away. Watch her here as she goes up strong, gets it back, and she's going against Busby there, which is a pretty tough matchup.
Does have quite a height advantage on Busby, though, and used it in that situation as she misses the first free throw try. In the game last night against JP2, Ensworth matched in rebounds by the Knights, 35 all. They normally average to out-rebound the opposition by 8 a game. Here's Kemp. Has her shot blocked, follows it back up, misses the putback, but draws a foul. And I think they've gotten Sweat for what would be her second.
Those early multiple fouls really play on a person's emotion, plays on how they can, it kind of works on them negatively on what they can do, and makes them kind of pull in the wings a little bit.
Kemp, a 66% free throw shooter. Rolls it in. Bruisers with a 3-point lead.
You can see some of that great speed that Kemp has there as she kind of left the defenders quickly in a short distance.
Great track athlete on her way to North Carolina. Press continuing to give the Tigers some problems, more of a nuisance to this point. Biner juggles it. Going to take it inside. She's tied up. And the ball will go back to GPS. So far, this game is much to GPS's liking.
It is. It's a little bit more, as you said, a little less pace in some ways, where they can, if you get in an up and down game with that bench UB Smith has, it's going to be difficult.
Change in defense.
Yeah, a little 2-3 zone. Here, let's see if they match up and where they try to concentrate.
Kemp's going to take a 3-pointer. Got it to go down. Kemp off to a nice start. And the Bruisers' lead is now 7 as we approach the 2-minute mark in the first quarter. Inside to Slay. She puts it up, draws the foul. So one of the things Ensworth really worried about is they are not a phenomenal scoring team. They're athletic, they can really defend, they rebound well, but they don't score a lot of points. They don't want to play from behind. Not their game.
Right, and their scoring back committee might show up anywhere.
Becca Smith checks back in as Blair Smith will get a rest.
The GPS 2-2-1 zone press is controlling tempo for them a little bit. Using a little time, but Ensworth does have an advantage on the boards, but they haven't been able to convert.
Biner got a rebound, missed the shot. Thrown away by GPS as Sweat is able to come down with it. Lady Tigers maintain possession. Sweat alertly over to catch that one. She was setting up to take a 3-pointer. They just couldn't get her the basketball. Inside there, Slay uses the body but can't get it to go down, and here comes Clay. 1-on-2. Clay draws the foul. It's a block.
That last little crossover move that Clay was able to execute took a charge and turned it into a block.
She is so quick.
Watch this little crossover here.
Biner just not able to get set.
Biner just couldn't have the lateral movement to set up with the quickness Clay has.
Clay 77% at the line, misses that one.
A little bit of a funny shooting motion, kind of releases it a bit low. She's strong enough to maybe raise that release some for the college level.
Chapel Chirac has checked in for the Bruisers, replacing Janae Perry. Missed them both. Biner clears it to Smith. Here come the Lady Tigers, down 6. Trying to get Justice Sweat a shot. They can't do it right now, Coach.
Well, a lot of that has to do with defense, and their good pressure defense created the turnover, took away the passing lane, and right now the Bruiser defense is the story of the game.
About to go under 1 minute to play in the first quarter. Clay bringing it up, sees Ensworth stay in the 2-3 zone. They're going to let Ferris reset it. They got Clay in the corner for a 3. Knocks it down.
Well, we start out up top on the zone offense. You kind of go in there and hide a little bit, and next thing you know, a good reversal of the ball, and you got the 3-point attempt.
Clay already with 7 in this game. Touch pass on the inside, knocked away before Slade can grab it. Ensworth will maintain possession.
Ensworth's had a lot of success this year on the little high-low movement where you go high post, you turn and look down inside, but GPS well prepared for that to this point.
Tiana Fernandez checks in the final 36 seconds for GPS. Bruisers leading this one by 9. Trying to set up Sweat.
Ensworth down 9, just looking for the last shot now. QB would like to score it late in the quarter and then have a little momentum going into the second quarter.
Under 10. Justice Sweat going to take it, put it up. It won't go down. Slay gets it to roll, and that ends the quarter. So Christina Slay has been the offense really so far. She has 5 of the 8 points for Ensworth, as GPS has done the job through 8 minutes. Girls Preparatory School 15, Ensworth 8 after 1. Class AA Division II Girls Basketball Championship from Allen Arena at Lipscomb. 15-8, GPS leading Ensworth. Points off turnovers, Coach Bargetzi, that's the stat so far.
That is in a 15-8 game. If it's 11-2 on points off turnovers, that is the story.
Ensworth to inbounds to begin the quarter.
I think that last basket by Ensworth, a very good psychological move for them in terms of what it meant. I think it'll give them more confidence, and I expect Ensworth maybe to be a little more dominant here in the second quarter as I watch the ball go out of bounds.
Well, one decision that Susan Crownover has made is she's putting Clay on Sweat and really trying to harass her, understanding she's only played in 2 games, missed the rest of the year with a back injury. And so she just hasn't practiced that much as Ferris throws it away, returning the favor.
Very similar turnovers there, back to back.
As Sweat throws it in, I mean, the story's pretty amazing. In October, she starts to have a problem with her back. They tell her she needs surgery. The decision is made, though, we're going to try to rehab it and just see. And she works hard every day for 3 months. Started to feel better in early February, cleared to practice 3 weeks ago. And she's played in 2 games, having scored 12 in each. So far, hasn't scored in this one.
But this is the payoff for a great effort to get herself back in the game.
She gets that rebound, goes up strong, and draws the foul. Ferris, the junior, is called for the foul.
Ferris, really a competitor, and you can tell she's pretty high-strung here. Very disappointed that she's probably going to come out with 2 fouls.
Chapel Chirac set to check in. She is 100% at the line. Sweat now 3 of 3. Don't have to look hard for her stat line. Again, just 2 games. 4 of 4. It's a 5-point game. They need points out of Justice Sweat.
Ensworth banking on this 2-3 zone to give them a little edge, and you know they've given up the 3 and that inside 2, and that's one thing Hubie Smith does not want to do, is give up that easy bucket in there when they've got players all around.
Sweat takes the 3, it's offline, and so GPS, after getting the make from Busby, back on the attack again, leading by 7. Busby, a good player against the zone. Ensworth steals that pass, which was intended for Simone. Smith coming the other way. Sweat with the right hand, can't get it to go. Slay going to be called for the foul over the back.
A good call there. And Ensworth, I know they like to play up-tempo, go to the bench a lot, but the quality of their shots probably not what Coach Smith wants right now, because I think they're taking a little too deep and trying to get the power shots as opposed to the mid-range or 3-pointers, and they're not a great 3-point shooting team.
Coach Smith disappointed, saying last night they settled for the 3 way too much.
Well, I think the effect of that last night 3-point performance may be having an effect on their shot selection today.
Busby fouled, will now go to the line to shoot 1 and 1. Missed it, and Slay clears. GPS by 7, staying in the man-to-man defense. Slay going to try to take it in. Busby is going to be called for a block. She's set for a charge. Slay didn't go exactly the way she thought she would, and then she fell over and gets called for, well.
Slay did a nice job that time of catching the ball, good jump stop, and then changing directions. Similar to the play we had earlier, where just a slight change of direction is the difference in the block and charge.
Becca Smith going to take a long one. Off course. Clay bringing it the other way. Clay and Busby making it happen so far. That one won't go. Biner clears the rebound, going fast. Ensworth. Smith puts it up, can't make it. Slay back up. Yes. Slay is keeping them alive right now, Coach B.
Yeah, she's doing the dirty work. She's in the trenches, making things happen. And when you're not making the 3s and the mid-range jumpers, controlling those boards and going up strong in a crowd, as Slay did there, is the answer. And they're kind of creeping back into this thing a little bit. You can see, kind of feel a little momentum change.
She's got 8 of Ensworth's 13. They're back within 4. They've trailed by as many as 9. TSSAA-network.com is the place for all the best in regular season and championship high school sports action in Tennessee. Log on to watch all the Division I and II girls and boys tournament basketball games in their entirety.
Blair Smith caught with a little reach in there, 35 feet from the basket, and one of those fouls you really don't want to commit as they build up and send the Bruisers to the line.
Kemp already with 5 points, now has 6. So far, free throws been good to the Bruisers. They're 6 out of 10.
One of the more unusual nicknames in high school sports.
Bruiser ball.
Right there, hangs in right there with the web feet.
Lead back to 6 for GPS. Of course, they're well known for a lot of success in sports, particularly in softball, where Susan Crownover has won many state championships.
She's an icon there, and had a daughter who played against some of the GPS teams, and they always a very classy group of athletes and very, very competitive.
Looking for a 2nd straight state title in basketball. Ensworth doing a good job working it. Went inside to Slay. Looked like Biner had thrown it away, but Slay was fouled.
good job of really going. Perry stepped in to take away the flash into the lane, but nice job of Slay to make, force the action, draw the foul. She's been very physical in there.
Slay shooting the 1-and-1, making the first. By the way, for Perry, second foul. Again, GPS, talented, athletic, not deep. Perry clears the rebound. Ensworth trying to stay with this zone defense. Had some success. Busby going to take a three. In and out. Perry with the board, up, draws the foul. That'll keep her in the game for a minute, as Susan Crownover had a player ready to check in for her, but she's got to shoot some free throws.
Well, Slay that time used some bad judgment. She patted herself on the chest and said, "My bad," as she fouled from behind on really an unnecessary foul.
Slay with 2 fouls. Perry's free throw, no good. It's a place where Perry has some problems. 44% free throw shooter, and she shoots a lot of them.
And she's got a better looking shot than the results.
How much of that is just confidence?
Well, it's something that you have to build up over time, and a lot of people who really hadn't been around basketball can't figure out how college players are bad free throw shooters, but shooters sometimes are shooters. It's a skill that's very hard to improve. It's kind of like putters in golf. Some got it and some ain't.
2-3 zone now with Perry out and having to make the changeup, going to Finley Bandy in the lineup on the post. Wow, they're going to get Slay for a push-off inside. And Slay has just picked up her 3rd foul. A big factor in particular because she has 9 of Ensworth's 14 points.
A little bit of a weird looking play right there as they threw over the top, and the official thought maybe she had her hand in the back of the defender to create some space, and I don't think the coaches or the players. Let's watch this right here. She has that left arm in there. I can see where it may be called.
Ashley Slay will check in for Christina Slay. In a 6-point game nearing the midway point of the 2nd quarter. Earlier today, Webb School beat FRA in the Class A girls game. Slay clears. And here come the Lady Tigers. DCA won the Class A boys game with an impressive performance, winning by 22 over University School of Nashville.
Coach Presley Ramsey getting it done. Great, classy guy, and happy for Presley.
Smith thinks about a 3, has to step back. Justice Sweat going to take the 15-footer and knock it down. That's what they need to see.
Nice under control move right there, and really probably the best looking perimeter shot we've seen from from Ensworth.
Sweat would like to get that confidence and get the range.
Watch her, good ball fake there, steps in, good jump stop, and buries it.
Hard to do what she's doing coming back after not having played basketball for nearly 4 months.
That's amazing, really. It's hard to really do much conditioning when that back is the problem.
There's Busby. That's why she is so effective. Just finds those creases, taking that 14-foot jump shot and burying it.
A little bit of a hole in that 2-3 zone. A little flash into the middle and the pass, and it's temporarily open, and you got to shoot it quickly, but she was able to do that.
GPS staying in the zone, trying to protect themselves against some foul problems. Becca Smith going to let that go. Not able to make it. Bandy tips it over to Busby. Busby being chased by Slay, thinks better of driving, and hands to Clay to begin the offense.
If you're going to play against the zone defense, you really want that one person you feel like can step up and make it, that the zone has to look for all the time. Ensworth has not been able to produce that threat yet.
Clay's going to take it. What a complete player she is.
There's a threat for you.
Anytime she shoots it, it's a high percentage shot because she's a good shooter. Lead back to 9.
She plays with more confidence than any player we've seen in our games today.
Justice Sweat thinks about taking the long one, won't do it. Smith with a drive. Sweat going to take a three. Offline. Rebounded by Chirac. A chance for a double-digit lead for GPS. That's Kemp. Can't get it to go. Here's Smith the other way. 2-on-2. Doesn't have the numbers. Forces it, and Busby with the steal. A minute and a half to go in the quarter. Busby, crossover. What's the call? Charge. Two officials look at one another and have to make a decision. Busby just a little out of control there.
A little out of control, but if I had to call that one with the having the monitor, let's watch this right here. No, that's not a charge, but it was called a charge.
It was.
So that's what it is.
So it is. It isn't, but it is. Still a 9-point game.
Perplexing for the Bruiser bench.
Ensworth working it around the horn as we near the 1-minute mark in the first half. Smith doesn't want that one. They lean to Sweat. Now they get it back to her. She's going to try another three. Can't get it to go. Biner with the rebound up strong, partially blocked. Biner again. Yeah. That's working.
Great second effort there. And again, they have the strength and size to be a great offensive rebounding team. And the way they're shooting from the perimeter, that's their salvation right now.
Biner gunning for point number 4. In and out. Looked like Sweat had it. Clay steals it. 1-on-2. She goes up strong and draws the foul.
Well, she's got that great ability at full speed to cross over, change directions, and you know you've got to anticipate that with her in the open court. 1 against 2, she goes to the line.
From a coaching standpoint, with most players, you would say don't do that.
Absolutely.
But with her,
absolutely.
because she knows how to draw the foul.
Absolutely, no question about it. She's got to make her free throws, but she's such a threat and such an athletic presence out there to be able to do that is just golden.
0 of 3 at the line. Uncharacteristic start for her there with 45 seconds to go.
And at this point, Ensworth 0 of 7 from 3-point range.
That's a big difference in this game. 8-point game.
But you know, if you got the people on the offensive boards, a 3-point miss is not always bad if you are working hard to get offensive rebound position.
Ensworth may play for the last shot, down 8 here. GPS going to come out. Coach Crownover now backs him up, says don't do that. We're ahead. We've got a couple of foul issues. Don't do that.
Exactly.
So Ensworth going to try to play it down to 5 or 6. And then get this lead down to 5 or 6. Here they go. We're under 10. Biner looking for it, can't find it. Smith takes it in, goes up strong. The floater won't go. The follow by Nichols is good at the horn. Kanisha Nichols with the putback. And so Ensworth's probably saying, okay. Yeah. GPS is saying better than okay. We're ahead by 6 points. Nice effort by Smith to get it up on the glass. And Nichols, understanding no time to take it down, put it straight back up. And it's 26-20, the Bruisers leading the Lady Tigers at halftime. As Tim McGraw and Faith Hill look on with the rest of the crowd at Allen Arena. And let's go to Chad Withrow.
Joined now by GPS coach Susan Crownover. And coach, you've held them to 20 points in the first half. We talked about Bruiser ball playing pressure defense. How's your team done?
Well, we played hard. We pressured them. We got in foul trouble. We had to get back out of the press a little bit. If we just rebound defensively, I think we'd be up a lot more. You know, they've got a lot of second chance shots.
Thanks a lot, coach. Back to you guys.
She's not going to be thrilled, but I think inside, as she walks to the dressing room, she's probably pretty happy.
Sure, and I think Hubie Smith a little bit relieved that he gets out of here only 6 down, because the way they shot, no 3-pointers, and they have some foul problems of their own. So a 6-point deficit is certainly not insurmountable.
Halftime at Allen Arena. Now let's get a word from your local PBS stations.
Welcome back to the Blue Cross Basketball Championship at halftime. It's GPS leading Ensworth 26-20, joined by Ensworth Lady Tigers coach Hubie Smith right now. Coach, your team trails by 6, only 20 points in the first half. What's it going to take to get you kick-started here in the second?
I think we need to make a few shots. We haven't made very many shots, and we got to open it up a little bit. They went to zone, to pack in the man. We've got to knock down a few shots. We've gotten good shots, we just haven't made them. And they've made a few good shots, so I think that's really the difference in the game so far.
It's been an aggressive game so far, and your team really playing pretty good defense also, but like you said, it's going to have to start on the offensive end.
Yeah, there are a lot of good athletes out there. I think our defense has been pretty good. We got to do a little bit better job executing on offense.
Coach, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Sweat made one shot for Hubie Smith's team, but otherwise Ensworth had to watch Daryl Clay make the plays. And the Bruisers will begin the second half with a 6-point lead from Allen Arena. Bruiser basketball to begin the second half. Looking at those first half stats, what really stands out to you, Coach?
No question about it. It's Ensworth 0 for 7 from the 3-point line. Big stat, but Hubie said that right. It'll open up the rest of their offense if they can make a 3-pointer or 2.
3-point try right off the bat for Ferris, missed. And Ensworth clears, giving them a 1 rebounding advantage, 17-16. That's another area they need to win in the second half. Rebounds. The fact that it was tied at halftime, not good for Hubie Smith's team.
Ensworth would do well to get the ball to the post and then kick it back out for the 3, where the shooter is getting the ball facing the basket.
Clay with the steal. Sweat going to try to stop her. Is able to strip it away. It goes off the leg of Clay, out of bounds. Great play by 32 Justice Sweat for Ensworth, saving an easy basket and getting the basketball back for her team.
4 or 5 point turnaround right there.
And she got all ball and took it off the knee of Clay. Running the point, Sweat. They're going to put Kemp on her to begin the half. Biner going to take it up strong and score. Ensworth's back within 4. Everybody going back man after both teams ended the first half in 2-3 zones.
Perry didn't want to pick up that 3rd foul, and she gave a little real estate to Biner on that shot.
Smith on Busby. Busby with a good move. Tries to go up, has it flicked away, and then they're going to call Smith for a walk. The constant pressure of the Bruisers. You look up, and you've got a GPS player in your face.
Yeah, and that's not just on their end of the court. They did a nice job in transition there of getting in, put a little defensive pressure, created another turnover.
Ferris, the 5'8" junior, setting him up with Kemp. They're back with their original starting lineup. Ferris going to take another 3-point try, miss it. Kemp goes high to get the rebound. Smith bats it away, tips it a second time, is able to take it from Clay. Good play by the freshman. Sweat's going to take a long one. Can't get it to go. And Kemp is able to battle her way to get GPS the basketball as it goes out of bounds off Ensworth.
That was one of those pivotal plays there. That three goes down. We got a 1-point game and we're off to the races. Now, a little momentum opportunity for the Bruisers.
But that's a shot Sweat has to take, right?
No question.
Kemp's going to try one. Knocks it down.
There's your 6-point swing right there in about 10 seconds.
Under 6 minutes to play third quarter. GPS back by 7. Becca Smith has a 3-point chance, won't take it. Tries to go inside. Nichols can't make that happen. Playing without Christina Slay, still on the bench with 3 fouls. To Nichols. Goes up, can't get it to drop. Kemp clears the rebound away from Biner. Busby going to bring it up. She handles the ball well. Kemp can't handle the pass, has to retreat to get it away from Sweat. And Ferris will reset the offense at the direction of Susan Crownover, standing right beside her. Sloppy play to begin the second half. Perry called for the foul. Nice job there by Biner, setting her feet and taking the charge. Janae has 3 fouls.
Yeah, when Janae came back with that over that left shoulder there with that move, Biner, nice job of setting up. And, you know, the player for Ensworth, Becca Smith, seems to have the opportunity to get the kickback pass for 3-point shot. And she missed a couple early. She's been reluctant to take it.
Biner drops the ball. Ferris up with it, taking on Biner, crossover, lays it in. Big hoop. It's now a 9-point game. Sweat trapped in the corner. Gets it back to Smith.
Bruiser ball taking its toll.
It is Bruiser ball. There's the double team. Becca Smith in trouble. And Hubie Smith says, I need a 30-second timeout. Wise timeout by the veteran coach with 4:37 to go in the third quarter. So they got off to a good start, did the Lady Tigers, but since then, the turnover there, and watch Ferris's move, crossing back over, nice adjustment to lay it in from in front.
Tough shot, and you know, here we are just about a minute and a half on the clock ago, 26-22. The Bruisers give up an open 3 to Slay. She can't get it to go down, and all of a sudden, I'm sorry, it was to Sweat. And all of a sudden, here we're back to a 9-point game.
Live coverage of the 2012 Blue Cross Basketball Championships is on your public television station. See the best girls basketball teams from across the state as they compete next Saturday for the Class A, AA, and AAA Girls Division I titles right here on Tennessee Public Television. We have the 3A game next Saturday, correct?
Next Saturday, yes, that's correct.
And the teams in 3A, wow.
Unbelievable. I mean, at least 6 teams that would be an odds-on favorite in a normal year, but who knows, a toss-up.
Some think it may be the best field ever, top to bottom. Becca Smith going to try the long one. Can't get it to go. Great box out by Busby, and here she comes. 3-on-3 fast break. Busby from in front, can't get it to go down as she swings over and tries to bank it off the glass, but draws the foul.
You take Clay and Busby, either one of those girls get a rebound, it's instant offense. Both of them have the ability to take the ball 94 feet on the dribble, puts a lot of pressure on that transitioning defense.
Well, again, to sort of explain, Busby's going to play soccer at Evansville. Perry is going to play basketball at Loyola, Maryland. Clay is going to play basketball at Auburn, and Kemp is going to run track at North Carolina. 4 future Division I athletes on the floor right now for GPS.
Therefore, a 10-point lead.
You see it. You see it in their style of play, and it's good coaching by Susan Crownover. She says, we are so athletic, we want to make the game about athleticism. We do not want to play half court because it does not take advantage of our strength. And here you see it. They've got Slay trapped in the backcourt. She's able to recover and get it to Sweat, but right now it's an 11-point game. Everything is hard for the Lady Tigers.
Hubie Smith going with a big lineup here, maybe having one of the larger players have a chance to make some threes, which they desperately need.
Nichols can't make that one. It goes out of bounds off of Sweat, back to GPS with 3:48 remaining in the third quarter. And just when it looked like Ensworth was on their way back, GPS has run off 7 straight points.
Well, I go back to that missed three-pointer, and since that time, a 7-0 run for the Bruisers.
Inside to Perry, has the shot blocked. Bynard trying to get the ball out of there against the pressure, finally does to Smith. Slay, who has 9 points, looking to get into double digits, draws the foul.
Again, nice job of putting pressure 70 feet from the basket and recovering to offer some resistance to Ensworth on the defensive end.
And that is what GPS has not allowed it to become, as Slay can't get the free throw down. Ensworth, with the big size advantage, would love to take advantage of the half court. It just hasn't been there for them.
It hasn't been there. They have some strong bodies out there, but thus far they haven't had the perimeter shooting and that's athleticism that you'd like to have.
Slay with 10. The lead is 10 as GPS throws it away.
Well, a pretty high-risk pass by Clay there, and then the pass back after the recovery, a little wild.
I think Susan Crownover senses her team is tired and immediately took a full timeout. They really play 6 players.
Well, they use their timeouts like Hubie Smith uses his bench, and they had to use one right there with a 10-point lead. Good strategy.
GPS in front of Ensworth by 10. Remind you, the final game coming up shortly after 5 o'clock Central Time. Briarcrest Christian 24-5 against Ensworth 23-6 for the Division II Class AA Boys State Championship. Coach Bargetzi will stay for that and join my friends Mark Howard and Jonathan Hutton for the call. Austin Nichols for Briarcrest, the 6'8" talent, taking on Ensworth, led by Corn Elder, and they're fast-paced. We'll play 25 guys.
and a host of his best friends.
That's exactly right. You've never seen so many people play in your life than play for Ensworth. Stay tuned for that second game right here on your local PBS station. That's going to be a lot of fun.
It'll be a lot of fun. I was talking to Ricky Bowers during halftime of this game, and he was talking about Nichols and what kind of wingspan he has. He stands at 6'8", but his wingspan 7'1", and this guy has got some of the best hands of any big guy I've ever seen on the high school level.
Ensworth trying to cut into this 10-point lead. They go inside. Nichols hard off the glass, gets it to drop. It's an 8-point game.
Great conversion there and good execution by the Ensworth offense.
Nichols with 6.
Back to the 2-3 zone for Ensworth. Let's see if they can take away that hole in the middle.
Clay, who's got 11, flips it to Busby. Busby gets it back from Sweat, misses the shot. Scrap for the rebound, and they call a jump ball. Could have called about 3 different fouls there.
A lot of different calls on that play. You know, maybe even a late hit by the linebacker.
They're getting after it in there as the ball on alternate possession goes to Ensworth. 2:28 remaining in the third quarter. 6-point lead for GPS at halftime. Their margin now is 8. Ensworth had it to 4, could have gotten it to 1.
Now we got zone on this end now. Becca Smith is going to have to make a couple threes for Ensworth to win.
Nichols going to take a long one and get it down. You don't expect her to take that shot.
She wants to win. She's showing us a little future right there. Only a sophomore. She can pretty much has the whole package if she can make that shot.
5-point game. Staying in the zone, Ensworth. Clay looking to make something happen. 1-on-4, dumps it inside, and Perry has an easy hoop.
Now, who would you give that credit on that one for?
I'd give credit to Clay.
Clay made an unbelievable play there to break down those defenders and get rid of the ball to the right person at the right time.
Well, from the textbook, you just say that's not a very smart thing to do, as Nichols going to take another long one, miss that one, and Kemp runs it down. But Clay just makes things happen. Going to take a 25-footer. That's an NBA three-pointer.
Another dagger. Hubie Smith buries his head in his hands.
It was down to 5, and now it's back to 10 because of a Clay drive and dish and then a Clay 25-footer. Becca Smith got it. Big three for Ensworth as we're in the final minute of the third quarter.
That's the shot Hubie Smith's been looking for all day.
Kemp going to try a long one. She nails it. What are we at the NBA All-Star game?
The answer.
3 straight three-pointers. 34 seconds to go. GPS by 10. Flip inside. It goes off Busby. And will stay with Ensworth. Quite a break there for the Lady Tigers, as it looked like that pass was thrown away, and Busby, cutting inside the offensive player, had it hit off her shoulder and go out of bounds. Nichols going to try to make something happen from in front. She does. She is keeping them alive.
Nichols is the real deal. I'll tell you, she's got a lot of game, and all of a sudden she's asserting herself.
Back to man-to-man Ensworth for the final 10 seconds. Smith going to try to stay with Clay. Down to 7. Crossover dribble, spin move, keeps it alive, flips to Busby, 17-footer. Wow, she is automatic. GPS wants this badly. Clay and Busby and Kemp and Perry, they have just all contributed plays. And in the third quarter, where it looked like Ensworth was going to make a run, GPS actually extends the margin. Simone Busby drills it. Bruisers by 10 after 3.
Joined now by Catherine Smith from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee. And Catherine, you guys have always been a proud supporter of TSSAA and high school athletics. Why is that important for your company?
Well, we definitely have the mission of healthy lifestyles and teaching young students at an early age what these habits are, and a commitment and discipline to lead healthy lifestyles. So TSSAA also in that mindset as well. So we've partnered since 2000 with them. It's been a great partnership for us.
And every time I talk with you, you have something fun going on. Today it's the fan face-off competition. What can you tell us about it?
Yes, the fan face-off at the Blue Cross Basketball Championships. This one's all on Facebook this time around. So if you visit our Facebook page, BCBST Champions, you'll see all the information. All you're doing is showing what school you're supporting. So you just put their name in, put your name in, and you can potentially win $1,000 for the school at the end of today's games, and then potentially a $100 gift card for yourself as well. So just wanting to show school spirit.
Thanks so much, Catherine.
Absolutely, thank you.
Guys, back to you.
Good job, Chad Withrow. Enjoying having you with us today. Mike Keith, Ron Bargetzi, GPS, Ensworth. 8 minutes to go. Through 3. GPS shooting a better percentage overall, but 6 of 12 at three-point range to Ensworth's 2 of 11. That's a difference of 12 points. The lead is 10, so you could say that's the difference in the game right now.
Absolutely, and when you're outscoring your opponent 15-0 from the bench points, you would think you may be in better shape than a 10-point deficit.
Clay's going to take that one. Got it. Clay with 16. GPS by 12. Nichols going to take another long one. Can't get that one to go. Ferris is tied up. Slay with a hustle play there, and Ensworth in alternate possession will keep the ball. Ensworth trying to hang in there. They're certainly giving it all they have, but they've just not been able to make it their type of game. Sweat throws it up, can't get it to go. Tipped away, and Perry has the rebound to Clay. Shadero Clay, 5'8" senior. Flips inside to her pal Busby, who makes it. You think Susan Crownover is going to miss those two?
Oh, man. Biggest deficit of the game for Ensworth, and GPS, as you said, they've willed their style, bruiser ball, onto the orange-clad Ensworth Lady Tigers. 6
straight points for GPS. Under 7 minutes remaining. Ensworth gets it inside Nichols. Can't get it to drop. Slay with a rebound, but she pushed off to get that position, I believe. Yeah, that's what they'll call. And I think she did.
I believe Ferris came out of there with a knot on her head, and it was not self-inflicted.
Well, Ferris ended up well under the basket.
That's right.
And that was not where she wanted to be. Oftentimes you are helped into that spot. Good inbounds pass. Kemp with the rebound. Sweat with the foul. Only the third team foul on Ensworth, just 2 on GPS, so we are not close at this point to the 1-and-1 for either team.
I'm not sure what Kemp is going to do athletically on the track team at North Carolina, but I'm betting on her right now.
What's amazing about Kemp is she plays basketball at no other time other than basketball season. No summer league as it's tipped back in, and Ferris the beneficiary for the easy one. Brianna Ferris.
One of the axioms of all basketball, don't throw the ball, don't save it back under the basket of your opponent. That time, somewhat of an assist for the other team.
Christina Slay, who's played a good game, makes the shot. A quick timeout by Hubie Smith. You can purchase a DVD copy of any of the Division I or Division II Blue Cross Championship basketball games. Log on to TSSAA-network.com and look for the green Buy Now button. What's Hubie Smith talking about with his team? Down 14, 6:12 to play.
There's no margin for error. Now is when we've got to do it. We've got to do it with our defense, get some steals. We've got to get the ball back and score with the clock stopped, which means we want to continue to take the ball inside. If the wide open 3 is there, let's make it. Otherwise, take it into the paint.
If you're Hubie Smith, and I know you're not telling your team this, how scared of you are easy baskets here as quick as GPS is?
Well, you're always, but you know, you can't play out of fear right now. You've got to let it all hang out. You got to extend your defense. Hope your defense can get you points.
This would be the full court press. Ferris to Clay. She can break it down herself. She beats 2 defenders and takes it straight up the middle. Behind the back pass into Perry, who lays it up and gets fouled.
Now, was that big time or what?
That is so big time.
It's hard to take it about 88 feet and go behind your back in traffic and draw the foul. Watch this one now. Big time play.
I believe we're going to see this again. That might end up being the Blue Cross move of the game later on. Hint, hint. Wow. What a player. Perry can't get that one down. Smith going to check back in.
Ricky Bowers and I were talking about Clay a little bit and said, this girl has played a lot of pickup basketball games. She understands the game, really has a great basketball sense of it.
Well, what's interesting is you watch some young people play the game today, and they have good fundamental skills, but you wonder, do they know how to play the game? She knows how to play the game.
Absolutely. She's learned it on the playgrounds.
Perry put 2 up there very well, and just bad luck, couldn't get either one down. It's still 14. Slay double team, takes it up anyway, misses. Good hustle by Sweat to tip it, but Clay is there. Slay trying to stop Clay, not going to work. Behind the back dribble. Here she goes again and draws the foul. Slay has 4. Slay was frustration.
She was determined to foul in that possession. You know, we talk about learning how to play in the streets or in the backyard or pickup games, but taking that ability and putting it into a system is yet another thing. Some players can't do that. Not the case with Clay. She plays bruiser ball with her knowledge from the streets.
Well, Susan Crownover loves this group of seniors. She says the biggest problem with them, though, is sometimes they don't believe me. And she said, we've improved this year because now as seniors, they believe me more and they do what I tell them.
Well, they believe her as she believes in them for sure.
Clay going to take a long one. That's short. Nice rebound by Biner. Ensworth still in it if they could make a run. Smith, long one, short, flipped back inbounds by Nichols, but she was standing on the end line.
Right.
GPS gets it back.
Hubie took exception as to whether his player was stepping on the end line when she saved that ball.
The great news for Hubie Smith, regardless of what happens today, he's only losing 2 players off this team.
Well, Hubie Smith, 18 years at Bartlett High School, lots of success on the high school level coaching boys. Then, of course, came to Nashville, was on Belmont staff, the Lipscomb staff, and has had a great time there at Ensworth.
Clay can't make that one, but they're going to call a foul on Perry. And so Perry draws her 4th foul. And I would think Susan Crownover, with 5 minutes to go, probably doesn't make a move here. Doesn't really have. She could go to Chirac, but I don't think she's going to do that.
No, time and score would dictate that she's got 4 minutes and 50 seconds to go and has a wide margin for error.
Biner gets it to Nichols. She'll take that 12-footer. Can't make it. Ferris with the rebound. Or correction, Perry with the rebound to Clay. Ahead to Busby. Pulls up before she charges and then makes a good move. Has it blocked from behind, but Ferris does get that rebound. And GPS will reset.
Busby did a great job of avoiding the charge there. Even though she is very strong physically, she does have the ability to change directions extremely well.
5-second call. Busby didn't quite know where she was on the floor.
Coach Crownover taking exception. Taking exception to the officials' count, and she draws a technical. I don't think she wanted that one.
No, you don't want one up 14 with 4:10 to go in the state championship game. And so that counts as a team foul as well, bringing GPS to 4. Susan Crownover very competitive.
Her body language didn't indicate enough to get a technical, but she probably talked a little bit too long there and probably a little bit embarrassed for herself getting that one.
Sometimes as a coach, do you ever tell your players in a situation like that, that's on me, I just made a mistake? Maybe afterwards?
Off season, that'll be something she'll do.
But never during.
No, it gives Ensworth just a little hope here. Creates a little bit of a different mindset, and if they convert it, she's looking over to Doug Mosier, her assistant coach, and saying, yeah, I didn't think I'd get one. I was walking away from him, and he still teed me up.
Still just a 12-point game. Plenty of time. 4 minutes. 3-ball doesn't make it. Clay tips it away from Smith and comes the other way. 1-on-3. The pull-up. Can't make it. Got her own rebound. Missed it. Thought she was going to have pressure and then did not. And they get Perry for a foul. So this is a big moment here for GPS as their best post player is done. And GPS is going to ask for a timeout here.
Full timeout to kind of reload the mentality of her team. She knows she's got a comfortable lead, but just a couple of bad plays and this thing could turn around a little bit.
Still 3:47 remaining. And the Bruisers ask for timeout as Janae Perry is done. And so now Chapel Chirac going to have to come in, and fortunately you still have Busby and Clay and Kemp, but you don't have that good post player against this post-heavy team. They still have time to go inside because Ensworth still sees 3:47 remaining.
And Ensworth has to take it into the paint right now for that one reason. They've got to stop the clock, they've got to score points, and they've got their best frontline defender out of the game on by their opponent. So look at Hubie. He's got, I love Hubie's sense of humor. He keeps it, he keeps his perspective.
He's coaching them up now, and he's been frustrated to see some of Shadero Clay's big plays. Look at that. What amazing body control. Miss, follow, again. This is what she does. They set that play against the zone for her to shoot the 3. She's going to take another long one there. Shadero Clay.
It's amazing. You don't see many high school players who are that equally talented from the perimeter and in a crowd. And I was shocked a minute ago when she thought she was getting ready to get blocked and kind of altered her shot a little bit and missed that little layup.
Saw ghosts. Man-to-man defense. That's what GPS plays against Ensworth here.
No one in the post right here.
Over 20 seconds taken off the clock here and no shot yet for Ensworth, down 12. Becca Smith can't get it to go, and Ferris with a very big rebound. Tough trip for Ensworth.
Big possession there.
Here's Clay, ready to take on 3 defenders, thinks better of that with the lead, and there's Busby back outside.
We're spreading it out here.
They'll get Sweat for a grab. 6th team foul for Ensworth, so not yet in the 1-and-1.
Tori Kemp going to North Carolina, bringing back a little old school 4 corners there. You don't see that kind of spread much. People have kind of graduated from that and done some different things, but that's what GPS was doing on that possession.
Dean Smith's team used to do it well back in the 70s.
No shot clock, point guard in the middle, everyone in the corners, and they had it down to a science.
My great memory of them running it was with Phil Ford.
Yeah.
Behind the back, Clay, pull up, can't make it, draws the foul.
Man, she got some explosiveness or what? She can really create space from her defender.
The whole goal, Hubie Smith said last night about guarding Clay, was to keep somebody in front of her, and he admitted that's easier said than done.
Right.
Unfortunately, they just haven't been able to do that.
She is so quick off the dribble, and she can go both ways. She can take it behind her back and change directions. She can do the front crossover. She has the whole package, and it's going to be fun to watch her play at Auburn.
Misses that one. Smith with the rebound. It's a 13-point game. Ensworth needs to go quickly. Slay grabs it, puts it up, missed the easy one. Ferris is able to throw it back to Chirac, and the Bruisers keep the ball. Great play by Ferris.
Excellent play, and now it's just a matter of the margin of victory, I think.
GPS back-to-back state titles in '99 and 2000, trying to do it again. Back door, not there. Intercepted by Slay. Ahead to Smith. Tries to finish it, has it blocked by Clay. Nichols has it blocked by Clay. Wow.
Oh. She brought a little street defense to that possession.
The Blue Cross Basketball Championships move of the game brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee, promoting healthy lifestyles and active lifestyles among Tennessee's young people. That's 1. That's 2.
And her teammate draws the foul.
Wow. Was she off the floor?
I mean, she's so quick and strong, and what timing to do that without drawing a foul.
Who do you think the MVP is?
Well,
at 23 in the first game in the win over Briarcrest, as Kemp makes the free throw. She's at her season average 17 right now.
Well, she dominates the game so many different ways. I mean, she just has the ability to do it on both ends of the floor with steals, with handling the ball, perimeter shooting, taking it to the basket, dishing it to her teammates.
Kemp with 15 on a 6-point average. It's a 15-point difference. Ensworth goes inside to Slay. Back outside to Nichols. Can't make it. There's Ferris. There's Clay. Going to Chirac. And Chirac wisely sends it back out. Let's run some clock. Here goes Clay. Bounce pass to Kemp, thinks better of it. They're having some fun now.
Oh yeah, this is keeping that clock moving, spreading the court, making good passes.
Disappointing for Ensworth that they just couldn't make it happen in this game the way they wanted to. I think Hubie Smith had exactly the right idea about what he wanted to do, knew what had to be done, knew it would be hard to do it. And in the end, the athletic and more veteran team.
Right.
And I think that you can't undersell that. 4 seniors, that kind of talent.
Ensworth, another thing they didn't have in this game is somebody that could just hang around that three-point line and knock them down here and there. If you get that, then you get a lot more open shots in there around the basket, which they couldn't get that balance that they really wanted.
Clay makes them both. And you wonder, too, what do they look like at this point in the season if they've had Justice Sweat the whole year instead of a week and a half? The what-ifs.
Well, with Clay in the game, I'm not sure what it would take to beat GPS, but Bruiser Ball is going to win this one going away.
Sweat puts it in. Timeout Ensworth, down 15 with 70 seconds remaining. Again, to remind you, Briarcrest Ensworth boys basketball upcoming. And that will start shortly after 5 p.m. Central Time on this PBS station. The Blue Cross Basketball Championships. Thank you so much to everyone here at Lipscomb University Allen Arena for the great hospitality. They do a wonderful job putting on the Division II championships. And next weekend, we'll move over to Middle Tennessee State for Division I girls. The following weekend, Division I boys. And they are very hospitable there. Great events. If you get a chance to come out, well, to the second game today or next weekend, you ought to do it. It is outstanding basketball.
Right, and this year, for the first time in my memory, and I've been around here longer than I want to admit, they're reversing the order of play. They'll be playing the Class A in the last game on Saturday, and
AAA's the middle game.
AAA's the middle game, and AA the first game, and that will continue to rotate, so you don't have single A, AA, AAA. Year in and year out like it has been in the past.
Well, it shows the power of the fan bases of not only AAA, but of A and AA, that they can draw that way. And it will draw. The girls and the boys will draw the next 2 weekends.
I'm telling you, watch out for AAA girls. It is, as you mentioned earlier, it's going to be one of the most balanced fields of strong teams. Here in the mid-state, I know you have Riverdale, phenomenal team. You have Clarksville, a great team. Mount Juliet, a great team. You got Bradley Central, Memphis Central. I mean, any of those teams and maybe some others can win that thing.
Well, I paid them a bunch of money so we could do that round.
I tell you, it's
money well spent.
Money well spent.
Foul in the backcourt, and Clay is headed to the other end.
My scouts out there in the field tell me that beware of Bradley Central.
All right.
They've got a great tradition, and looks like they've got their best team in a long time.
Well, a lot of those names that you mentioned have great tradition.
They do. Funny how that keeps showing up at the same place, and you usually follow that back to the coaching lineage of a particular program and how it's been handed down from generation to generation. And of course, we all remember Jim Smitty out of Bradley County and the 10,000 wins he seemed to have had as a coach.
What a great career. Clay with 21. GPS with 17 as we get ready to go under a minute left in this Division II Class AA Girls State Championship game. Ferris with the steal. And here comes Clay.
She's been awesome. I think really an kind of an underrated hero today is Kemp. She's been really good.
Well, especially with Perry's foul trouble, she came through as Chirac is fouled. Some substitutions on their way in for GPS as Susan Crownover sits on the bench.
She's had no bench scoring and got a technical foul and is winning by 17 with 39 seconds to go.
But there she is, and you know she's got a lot on her mind right now, and at these times you think so much about family as Chirac misses the free throw. Her biggest influence in sports, her dad, Eddie Lance, and she lost him in December. He got to see the state championship, multiple state championships in softball, the state championship in basketball, and I bet she's thinking about him right now at this key moment as she's going to win another one.
He's watching this game from the skybox and enjoying every second of it.
Absolutely.
And to her, Coach Crownover's left, Doug Moser, the little second baseman out of Chattanooga City High School.
They have a little tradition too.
Yes, they do. Jimmy Duke, Jim Pfeiffer, they've had some great ones there.
Smith draws the foul. She'll go to the line. That one's called on Finley Bandy, who's just entered the lineup. And here come some of the other bruisers going to check in. And these seniors are going to come out for the final time. And you know, this is going to be emotional for Susan Crownover.
It is, and it's just the pinnacle of the program she's built. But to lose those phenomenal seniors is going to be unbelievable.
There's Shadero Clay. There's Tori Kemp. And there is Simone Busby. What a run it's been for GPS. Coming from behind last year to upend Briarcrest to cap a 23-1 season. And this year, they're able to win over Briarcrest in the semis. And then they have been in control of this game pretty much throughout against Ensworth. It was a 4-point game early in the third quarter. Since then, they have moved the lead out very consistently. As 5 seconds to go, GPS maintains possession of the ball. Kelby Crownover to throw it in. And they'll get Akia Harris for pushing off. And so it'll be Ensworth ball.
She's learned something from playing defense against the Bruisers first team all year long there.
I'd say that's right.
She's had to do a lot of pushing, not quite as physically developed as some of her senior teammates.
I know one thing we know, though. This Ensworth team you're seeing, very good chance they're back here next year.
They'll be back. If GPS can get back to this game next year, it'll be a shock with all the big holes they have to fill. But you would expect Ensworth to be right back here with all their young talent.
Nichols going to take a three to end it. It doesn't go, and it didn't go Ensworth's way today. It went to Girls Preparatory School, the Bruisers of Chattanooga, your Division II Class AA state champions, as they win in convincing fashion over the Lady Tigers of Ensworth, 57-40. Susan Crownover and GPS goes back to back in state titles.
Well, these seniors will be legendary in the athletic history of that school, which is steeped in athletic success over the years.
Chad Withrow standing by with Susan Crownover, the victorious coach.
Coach, big win for your program, obviously. What does it feel like winning another state title and winning it in this fashion? Were you pretty much controlled throughout?
I don't know if we were in control throughout. We had to fight. Ensworth's an awfully good team. And I got to say, you know, these seniors have worked awful hard. They've been a real successful group, and it's a great way to send them out with back-to-back state championships.
You talked about these seniors. How about Shadero Clay? What kind of player has she been for your program? What kind of player is Auburn getting next year?
Well, they're lucky to have one like her. I think she's got a lot of room to grow, but I tell you, she's been an outstanding high school player, and she's just going to get better and better. She's made us a better team for 4 years, and I think that's what's a great compliment to her.
Congrats, Coach. I'll let you go celebrate. Guys, back to you.
She's won a few state championships, so she knows what this feels like, but it never gets old.
Yeah, once you set that bar up there and the expectations are there, you know, you get a little more attention from those players trying to get them to do this, that, off-season, etc. And I think one of the really great stories is Kemp, the great track athlete who strictly plays basketball during basketball season. And here she is, part of these girls that play AAU and do the off-season programs and everything.
They're putting on the championship hats and getting ready to accept the gold ball. The championship presentation coming up as GPS beats Ensworth by 17.
we'd like to introduce the Division II Miss Basketball finalist honoring Tennessee's best high school basketball players. Presenting the awards for the Miss Basketball finalists will be John Carey from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee and members of the TSSAA. Finalists are nominated in a statewide poll of high school coaches and members of the media conducted by the TSSAA. A committee of statewide sports writers selects the finalists and the winners based on their regular season performances. As in previous years, we ask that it be verified that each finalist is making satisfactory academic progress and is the kind of individual the school is proud to have as its representative. As it might be expected, in every classification, the difference between the ultimate winner and the other two finalists was extremely close. So each young person recognized today can take pride in the achievements which earned them a place on this stage. To the three finalists, it's an accomplishment every one of you can treasure throughout your life, a distinction to carry with you always. In 2012, you were one of the top 3 basketball players in your classification in the entire state of Tennessee. And now let's meet our 3 finalists. First, a 5'8" senior point guard from Girls Preparatory School, Miss Shadarrell Clay. Shadarrell is a 4-year starter for the Bruisers who averages 16.6 points, 3.4 rebounds, 4.8 assists, and 3.2 steals per game. She shoots 39% from the field, 35.1% from three-point range, and 74.6% from the free throw line. She has been an all-region selection each year of her high school career. Shadarrell has been named to the All-State team for the past 2 years and was the winner of the 2011 Miss Basketball Award. Again, Miss Shadarrell Clay. Our next finalist is a 6-foot senior forward from Briarcrest Christian School, Miss Lauren Douglas. Lauren is a 2-year starter for the Saints who averages 17.4 points, 10.9 rebounds, 3.1 assists, and 2 steals per game. She shoots 49.5% from the field, 23% from three-point range, and 77% from the free throw line. She was named to the All-Tournament team at the 2011 state tournament and was named the 2011-12 Division II West Player of the Year. Lauren was the MVP of the 2011 Harding Classic and was named to the All-Tournament team at the Pickerington, Ohio tournament. Again, Miss Lauren Douglas. The third finalist is a 5'11" senior forward from Ensworth High School, Miss Christina Slay. Christina is a 3-year starter for the Tigers who averages 15 points, 7.5 rebounds, and 1.8 steals per game. She shoots 44.1% from the field and 70.2% from the free throw line. She has been named to the All-Region team each of the last 3 years. Christina was named the MVP of the 2010 state tournament and was a member of the All-Tournament team at last year's state tournament. Again, let's recognize Christina Slay. You've now met the finalists. It's time to award Miss Basketball for 2012. The 2012 Division II 2A Miss Basketball winner is Shadarrell Clay. And now it's time to present our team awards. Our first award goes to the cheerleading squad that has demonstrated outstanding sportsmanship during the tournament. This year's 2012 Spirit Award goes to Girls Preparatory School. And now for the presentation of the runner-up coach's plaque. The runner-up coach's plaque goes to the coach from the Ensworth High School Lady Tigers team, Hubie Smith. And now for the presentation of the runners-up team trophy. With a record of 22-7, the runners-up trophy goes to Ensworth High School Lady Tigers. And now for the presentation of the champion coach's plaque. The coach of the girls' preparatory school bruisers, Susan Crownover. And now for the presentation of the champion team trophy. With a record of 27-4, the champion team trophy goes to girls preparatory school bruisers. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee knows how much hard work and dedication it takes to be the best in Tennessee. So they congratulate both teams for appearing in the 2012 state championship finals and are proud to recognize GPS with commemorative 2012 Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee basketball championship caps. Congratulations from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee and the TSSAA. At this time, we would like to present our
Coach Ron Bargatze, it never gets old to see a group of high school girls or boys get a chance to raise one of those trophies and know they've just had a moment that will be with them for the rest of their life.
Mike, I think it's the purest of all athletics. High school championships to me are the best. And you know, sometimes you can't feel as good as you want to for the winners for feeling badly for the losers. I was a state runner-up in baseball as a high school athlete, and to this day I wonder what if. So, but you know, getting there is a huge accomplishment.
Well, congratulations to Simone Busby, Shadero Clay, all the fine players and coaches at GPS. Back to back they go, knocking off the Ensworth Tigers. For Ron Bargatze, Mike Keith says thanks so much for joining us. And thanks so much to our local PBS stations who you're going to hear from right now.